afternoon. You're watching The Big Story. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. Let's begin with some breaking news coming in from Mumbai. A full-fledged drama took place in the Bombay High Court during the hearing of a PIL against COVID mismanagement when the lawyer representing Pune Municipal Corporation claimed that enough beds and ventilators are available in the city. The High Court called for a live ground check. In an unexpected move, the High Court asked the petitioner to there and then call up the control room and inquire about the status of beds on speaker. When the petitioner dialed the control room, neither plain beds nor ventilators were available. Santhya Gora joining us with more on this. So Santhya, it seems that what we do in our reportage is something that was done in the courts this time, where the courts actually made a call during the proceedings and found there were no beds available despite tall claims made by the Pune Municipal Corporation in this regard.
Yes, absolutely, Afrida. And all this happened in the open courtroom. So Bombay High Court is actually hearing a COVID management PIL on a weekly basis now. And the hearing, which started in the morning, touched many aspects of COVID management across the street. And when Bombay High Court was specifically focusing on Pune, because Pune for a very long time was a badly affected path for Maharashtra. So the lawyer who was representing Pune Municipal Corporation filed an affidavit and he was actually reading out of his affidavit and claiming that how plenty of beds are available. But the petitioner, one of the petitioner, he came ahead and he said that when the lawyer was making his submission, he called the helpline numbers and he was told that no beds are available. So court said, well, let's make a call and please keep the phone on speaker mode so that everyone can hear. So the petitioner made a call, inquired for a bed, Afrida, and the response was the same, no beds were available. That's what the helpline person told. Court said, let's make another call. Another call was made by another petitioner this time. And this time, the inquiry for a ventilator bed was made. And the same response was given that no beds were available. So clearly, court said that these claims which are made by the lawyer here who was representing Pune Municipal Corporation clearly the claims do not match the ground reality here, and that has to be rectified, Afrida.
Yes. All right, Santhya, thanks for joining us. Interesting courtroom drama, taking a cue from Miranau's style of dialing there and there, recording the conversation, and the truth was fully exposed in the courtroom as no beds were found to be available when the control room was dialed from the court premises. Thanks for joining us, Santhya, with the latest. Well, so let's now focus on the big story at this hour. What we are looking at is the center-state tussle once again over the vaccine procurement policy. And this is in the light of the recent statement that has come from the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who alleges now that the centre has simply made it impossible for the states to procure vaccine because whatever is manufactured by the vaccine makers have already been booked by the centre. So it is one thing to shift responsibility to the states. It's quite another that the centre already knows that such a procurement by the state will not be possible under the circumstances. So under the liberalized and accelerated national COVID-19 vaccine strategy, which came into force from the 1st of May, the manufacturers are supposed to supply 50% of their CDL, that is the Central Drug Laboratory released doses, to the centre, and the other 50% doses to other than Government of India channels, that is state governments, private hospitals and hospitals under industrial establishments. That's the primary issue here. So what has happened as of now, just to give our viewers a background, is a political row that has erupted between the Delhi government and the centre over the shortage of vaccine supply. Delhi government has alleged that Bharat Biotech has refused to supply doses to Delhi due to centre's directive. Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has cited a letter by Bharat Biotech where the vaccine maker has said that it will not be able to cater to the demand or make additional supplies to Delhi government as it has been making dispatches as per centre's orders. Sisodia added that it is clear that the centre is taking calls regarding supply of vaccines, also giving certain directions to the manufacturers on how they should be making the dispatches. So clearly, taking a jibe at the centre, Sisodia has alleged that the centre is now solely responsible for this mismanagement, and had the vaccines not been exported in the early stages, today we would not be in this situation. That's the primary allegation made. So let me introduce my guests this afternoon. Joining us here on Mirror Now, Harish Khurana, BJP spokesperson, Ravi Srivastav, political analyst. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. The question that we are looking at is that with the Covaxin now refusing to supply doses to the Delhi government, has that really exposed the loopholes in this vaccine procurement policy? Mr. Khurana, to you first. Is politics clearly derailing the entire process at a time when the country is in a critical juncture where we need to speed up vaccination? What is happening is that now there is some confusion. There is some amount of conflict happening between the centre and at least the Delhi government, where the Deputy CM, essentially what he's telling us is that you have shifted the responsibility to us, knowing very well that we cannot procure any doses on our own, even for a price it is not available, Mr. Khurana.
Afrida, first of all, I'd like to tell your viewers that centre has no intention to do any politics in any state, especially Delhi. Now, if you see that all the scenario, on 19th April, the decision was taken with the Prime Minister. Centre has delegated powers to state governments to buy 50% of the vaccine to the government, by any other state government. 26th April, Manish Sisodia showed a letter. He has written a letter to Serum and Covaxin, and they have ordered, I'm repeating again, they have ordered 67 lakh each vaccine to both the companies. While this letter, which was being published by own Mr. Sisodia, over there it is clearly written that it has been government of NCT Delhi is planning to procure. I'm not saying this. This letter is saying it's planning to procure. So there's a difference between an ordering and a planning. Third, the important part is today Manish Sisodia ji has done a press conference again and says that Bharat Biotech has refused the letter. I mean, they have given a letter and refused to give them the vaccination. My point is, in that letter, if you see that letter, I think you are also having that. Over it is written that your letter dated 7th of May. So my point is, what were you doing between 26th April till 7th May? You are sleeping on that. Point number one. Point number two, they have come out with a letter that 29th April, centre has written only 267,000 vaccines.
No, your new policy was announced 1st of May, Mr. Khurana. To be fair, you can't question what were they doing 26th April. The new procurement policy has come into effect 1st of May. Let's be clear on that.
I'll clear on that. It was declared on 19th April that you can talk with them, and the 1st May that vaccination program will be started. But 19th April it was declared you can talk with the people, you can have a full right to procure your 50% of that. Many states have already ordered and started the vaccination. My point is, because you are late and till now you have not done the payment. Yesterday, Aam Aadmi Party own handle, where it has been written that we are ready to give the payments. I'm quoting that. Aam Aadmi Party is ready to give the payment. Aam Aadmi Sarkar advance payment ko taiyar hai. This is the official Aam Aadmi Party's own handle. That means they have not done a payment till date. So without any negotiations, without any order.
No, but this is not what Bharat Biotech is saying, Mr. Khurana. This is what you are saying is not what Bharat Biotech is saying. Bharat Biotech is not saying that they have not made advance booking. It is not saying that they have some payment issues. What it is saying is that we cannot supply you the doses because there are certain orders from the centre to cater to. The reasons you are giving is not reflecting on the reasons cited by Bharat Biotech.
No, there are two things. According to Manish Sisodia letter, which is being sent, he is quoting a centre letter. Only Bharat Biotech will be supplying 97,000 odd doses to Delhi. That is a letter which has been circulated by Manish Sisodia, right? Today, their own COVID thing is saying that Bharat Biotech has supplied 1.5 lakh vaccines till date. So there is a confusion on their end only, not ours. The problem is,
Okay, I got your point. You're saying the Delhi government woke up late, they made the orders late, they did not make these advance orders, and today they are crying foul for their own mismanagement. Ravi Srivastav, if you can respond to that. Yes, I got your point. Let Mr. Srivastav also come in. Okay, complete your point.
Mr. Khurana, I say with the folded hands that everybody has erred, everybody has made a mistake, but for God's sake, make sure that Delhi gets the vaccines. Delhi is doing best, but as far as the both the companies are concerned, there are no vaccines now available. How much vaccination have you done in 12 days, Mr. Khurana, in the whole country? 25 lakhs only. 25 lakhs. And with this speed, you will not finish up the entire vaccination in the country for next 3 years. Next 3 years, sir. So don't make jokes of these things. This letter date, wait please. This letter was written on this date. This demand was made on this date. All these story-making session, please stop it. Make sure that the Bharat Biotech delivers the vaccine to Delhi tomorrow and they start their vaccination. They have closed 100 centers already.
Absolutely. In that sense, I agree, Mr. Khurana, that this doesn't help anybody. Delhi cannot be left to fend for itself. We are all together in this. So to say that let Delhi handle this will not help anybody's cause.
Can I come in?
Yes, let Mr. Khurana respond. Please go ahead.
Point is, whether vaccination is coming or not, whether it's Bharat Biotech or Covishield, the point is that vaccine should be coming in Delhi. Yesterday, COVID, their own bulletin says 267,690 vaccines have been arrived today. That's not my letter. This is COVID own bulletin released by Delhi government. Yesterday,
no, I'm sorry. I don't know which figures you are referring to. I will tell you about the figures that the entire nation is aware about. When it comes to Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech together manufacturing 8.5 crore doses a month, that works out to administering approximately 28 lakh doses per day. This has been maximized to a great extent. The per day administering is going somewhere on Monday at least to the extent of 24.3 lakh jabs. So it is not that the states are not executing or administering the doses that they have received, but there is a limitation to the manufacturing, there is a limitation to the dispatch. So there is the supply side and there is the execution side. The states are well equipped to administer doses, the centers are ready, the healthcare workers are there, people are queuing up. But the doses are not there, Mr. Khurana. Let's admit that the manufacturing is not enough. The advance orders did not go from the center in the first place.
Afrida, my point is, entire country is witnessing the long queues everywhere. Please,
one by one, Mr. Khurana, you first, and then Mr. Ravi Srivastav will respond. Mr. Khurana.
Point is, we all know there's a gap between demand and supply. The point over here is who is paying the politics. Yesterday only 267,000 doses have been received by Delhi government. So why are you not doing it? Why have you shut down 100 centers? If you have it's not about Bharat Biotech or Covishield. It's about the vaccination of any company should be provided.
They do not have the doses, sir. They do not have the supplies. It is simply not possible that any government for that matter would be sitting on the doses. It is simply not possible that when the country is reeling under this crisis, any government for that matter will decide, yes, we have the doses, we are not going to go ahead with administering the vaccine. That is not happening anywhere now. There was a time when there was hesitancy. It's not happening now. Yes, Mr. Srivastav, respond. Let everybody get a chance. Mr. Srivastav.
Mr. Khurana, please don't tell lies. If Delhi has the vaccine, what they will do, they will not keep it at their home and they will not enjoy it. They will be first to go and administer it. You just go on the street, Mr. Khurana, in Delhi. Go watch people, they are queuing up. They are the hard sun. People are standing over there for the vaccine. They will not go there for fun. They will go for receiving receiving the vaccine only. And tell me, Mr. Khurana, if there was vaccine shortage, why did your party gave the export of 6.5 crore vaccines abroad? Why did you send it? Why India's life don't matter to you? Your brother, your sisters in Delhi, they are suffering for the want of vaccine,
come on,
and you were exporting it. And you had
No,
no
Mr.
plan
Srivastava, again, to
manufacture
be
it.
fair,
This
let's
such a-
not make a sweeping statement that the government did that out of some joy. There were some commitments to be made. There were some
No, that should
conditions
be-
set that
No,
one can
Afrida, that
only
should-
have the rights to
that should have been
manufacture in
known to
India
people.
if they
That should have been
also
known.
produce for other countries. There are international agreements to be honored. Let's be real about it. That the
I'm
fact
saying-
that there were certain conditions set. Yes, there was a certain chunk which the country exported, which perhaps could have been curtailed. I'm not denying it. But also let's put facts in the correct perspective that certain international agreements had also to be honored in that respect. Mr. Khurana, please.
First of
Afrida,
all, listen, Mr. Ravi, listen. Listen to me politely. We all know there's a problem between a demand and supply chain. But that doesn't mean that you will do a politics on this. My point is, if you are not getting the vaccination and if you receive the letter on 29th of April, what we're doing? Have you spoken to Prime Minister? Have you spoken to Home Minister? Have you
No,
spoken
you're
to
going
Health
back to
Minister?
that point. We have moved on now. You are supposed to tell us that why the center
own,
is not
Afrida.
able to provide supplies to the state, why
We are
these
supplying
centers
it.
are closing down in many
We are
states now,
supplying it.
not able to open out to 18 to 44. In Maharashtra, for instance, the process has
Afrida.
slowed down at a very
My-
critical juncture where we are fighting the pandemic. That is the question.
Afrida, my only point is, please read the Delhi COVID vaccination bulletin yesterday. Please read it. That so you will get what the actual facts are. They only have written yesterday only 2,67,690 vaccines are receiving today. That means total they have a stock of 2 lakh plus 2,19,000 they have in stock. So in all 4 lakh out of 4 lakh 5 lakh doses are there still in the stock. Why are you
Sir,
taking a panic? You're doing
your
exactly the
statement-
same thing what you've done in
Your,
the season.
your statement is a lie.
not my
Your
statement.
statement is a lie. If
You read
Deputy
this.
Chief Minister is saying today on
You read-
record in the press
वो भगवान
conference
नहीं है।
that they do
वो
not
भगवान
have the
नहीं है।
vaccine,
If
they
the
do
Deputy
not have
Chief
the
Minister-
vaccine. You can go and sue the Chief Minister if you want. in
ये
the
पढ़
court
लो
of
ना
law.
यार।
Important
पढ़ लो।
is that they don't
भेजो।
have the vaccine. You arrange to provide it. You
भेजो।
arrange to provide it. Please
भेजो।
help,
Can I
help
send
your
you?
state.
Can
Help
you
your
Yes,
send you?
state.
but it is also
Provide the
true,
vaccine.
Mr. Ravi Srivastava, that the center the states, I beg your pardon, put a lot of pressure on the center to open out to other age groups. That pressure came from the states. So at that time, the center, coming under pressure, it seems, has opened out to other categories when actually they did not have the commensurate supplies or did not even have the forward planning. But knowing that perhaps coming under pressure, the categories were opened out, and now suddenly we are facing a crisis. Unfortunately, I'll have to leave it at that. I know this is an engaging conversation, and I would have loved to continue for some time. Quick last point, please. Yes, we need to close. Quick last point.
That there was a pressure from the people, there was a pressure from the state government, but the center should have prevailed upon them and said, unless we have got at least 30 crore wax in stock and the production line on, we will not open up from 18 to 44 age group. They would have taken a conscious decision about it and would have not put the people to this kind of inconvenience where the long queues are there and still people are dying with the disease. With every day you are finding 4,000 people dying. I think that is criminal. That nobody will pardon. You should have had the vaccines in stock and then opened it. Instead of 1st May, it could have been made the 1st June. But then you should have had the vaccine in stock. Then only you start this kind of a all India scale where 73 crore people are to be vaccinated. Afrida, that's the point.
Yes, absolutely agree. Take your point. But also let's remember that this is not the time for blame game at all. Where is the collaborative and collective effort? Because people are depending on the elected governments to have a clear, concise policy, one that is well thought out, one that is decided with cooperation between state and the center. This bickering is, of course, unfortunate coming at a time like this. Thank you so much, Ravi Srivastava and Mr. Harish Khurana, for joining us on The Big Story today.